Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
24 CR 889 is now called the State of Texas versus Dorwin Alvin James McMillan. That's you. So, present with your attorney, Mr. Dusler, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and arraignment here? Can we proceed in study?
sir.
In summary, sir, this indictment alleges that on or about April 14th of this year in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the second-degree felony of burglary of a habitation. Do you understand what you were charged with? If convicted, you face a term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand? An agreement's been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty. Sentenced to 10 years in prison, that would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years, fined $500, and restitution is owed in the amount of $1,000. Is that your understanding of the agreement? If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand? How do you plead to this second-degree felony of burglary of a habitation? In this indictment, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily, that is on your own free will and because you are indeed guilty? Show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered into
No
evidence
objection.
without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you were mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You are guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true, it states, so help you God. Correct? State's Exhibit 1 made a part of the record for all purposes. Is a pre-sentence report waived?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to follow this agreement and find that you are pleading guilty today voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the second-degree felony of burglary of a habitation. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. That 10-year confinement in prison will be suspended. You are placed on regular probation for 10 years. You must pay a fine of $500. Restitution is owed to the complainant in this case in the amount of $1,000. There will be terms and conditions of probation which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Stand by. Ooh. Okay, this home that was being burglarized, did you know who lived there?
Yes.
Why would you y'all choose that place?
Honestly, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I knew nothing that was going on, really. My brother asked me to drop him somewhere. I was on the phone. Cops pulled up from behind me and they asked me, well, they had somebody call talking about somebody got out of the car and went, and my brother didn't let me know nothing he was doing. So
Okay.
he's been convicted.
Did he know the person?
No, I'm thinking.
No. How was that person chosen at random out of 7 billion people on the planet? How was that? How was that chosen? How did this happen? So you're driving,
Yes, sir.
and what do you do? Say stop?
No, my brother, he said he was going to his girlfriend's house, something like that. I had just woken up out my sleep. He told me to bring him somewhere. That's all I knew I was doing, bringing him somewhere.
So who was the other guy? Who was your buddy?
Warren McMillan?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's your brother, right?
yes,
And he's been imprisoned, right?
yes.
So your story here, keeping in mind everything you say is taken down by the court reporter, everything we say here,
Yes.
and failing to be truthful and accurate only gets you in more trouble. Let's say. So you're driving, and how did all of this happen? What happened? You're driving, and then what happens?
Driving, got to the destination. He told me he was getting out, going to do it. I don't know what he going to do. So I said, all right, that's a bet. I'm on the phone with one of my friends. Cops pulled up from behind me. They say somebody got.
No. The other guy said, stop.
No. This was where he was going. He said he was going there. I said, okay, cool. I ain't never dropped him there.
Okay, what did he do? He gets out of the car and what?
I don't know what he did. He just went in there, and that was it.
He just went in the house?
Yes, sir.
You saw him go in the house, the front
Yes,
door?
sir. I didn't see nothing.
Well, how
After
did
he
you know
got
he
out
went
the
in?
car, I just stayed on the phone. I didn't pay attention to nothing else that was going on.
Okay, here's the story, the real story. They get behind the vehicle, your vehicle, which is illegally parked on 18th Street. And you were identified as the driver. You were asked, what are you doing? And you said, I'm waiting on a buddy to get here. But that wasn't a buddy, that's your brother. Nobody, I've lived long enough. I don't call my brother. Who is that? Oh, that's my buddy. I'd say that's my brother. You didn't. That's your first problem. Next. You were asked, why are you waiting here? And you told the police, I don't know. But you're the one operating the vehicle. You are the one who would know. But you don't know. You told them. Which is all deceptive. The officer could smell a strong odor of marijuana from the vehicle. You were asked to step out. They called dispatch, and you had multiple outstanding warrants out of the city of Nederland. So you had Class C misdemeanors, I guess, or greater, that you were in trouble for, that you hadn't taken care of. So they place you in handcuffs because of the outstanding warrants that you had not taken care of. Another problem that is not responsible behavior. But here's what's interesting is when they pulled up behind you, they observed someone exit the car and jump a nearby fence, which is not the normal way people get into homes. It's normally the front door or the back door or the garage. But this is all indicating a burglary is in progress. While at the scene, they locate a male running from the back door, and he is your brother. Not just a buddy, he is your brother. They caught him and placed him in handcuffs. And then they transported y'all, looks like, to the jail, where you had to speak for the warrants. Okay. No, this is bad. This is all bad. Here's what we're going to do, though. You need me for something. Okay. Well, he says he's not guilty, and I don't.
I'm guilty. So I am guilty.
You just said you weren't.
Yes, sir. I was in the wrong place, wrong time.
Under the law, parties, you understood
That's not a crime to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
You
That's-
understood that your brother was burglarizing the house and you were there assisting him by driving him there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm all statements you make during this hearing are the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Lower your hand. Ask him this question one more time under oath, under penalty of perjury. Thank you.
Under the law of parties, you knew that your brother was going to be burglarizing the house. You participated in it by driving him there and waiting in the car, knowing that he was going to be conducting a burglary at the house. Is that correct? And you're accepting responsibility under the law of parties that you are guilty of this offense as well as your brother.
And you've discussed all of this with your attorney here? All right, anything else?
No, sir.
Then I'm going to find you were pleading guilty today voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea. From State's Exhibit 1 admitted to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. A second-degree felony of burglary of a habitation. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. That confinement will be suspended. You are placed on regular probation for 10 years. You must pay restitution in the amount of $1,000. Also, a fine of $500 is assessed. There will be other terms and conditions of probation you must follow. If you fail to follow these completely, your probation can be revoked. You can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand? Did you take care of all those other arrests, outstanding warrants that they took you into custody for? Here's. All right. Please see that lady. Thank you. That is all.